What's the most American thing ever that, if explained to a non-American, might just sound crazy? As a Brit, what shocked me was learning about just how huge your college sports games are. A university/college football, soccer, team game here might draw a crowd of a few hundred. A friend who went to the University of Texas told me their American football stadium seats 100,000. What the actual fuck? Want a weirder fact? The highest paid state employee is a college football coach in 25 states, and 15 states it's college basketball coach. Edit. Hey guys, I'm not really commenting on the ethics of this. I understand football brings in large sums of money for the college, and I also understand ticket sales and donors pay the largest portion. Just commenting that my alumni's head coach makes $9.3 million a year, and it's weird to me that 40 other states can claim a coach as their highest paid. You would probably be even more surprised at how big high school sports are, especially here in Texas. As an English person who's just recently started watching Friday Night Lights, that was a real shock. Obviously it's fictional and about the football team, but that people know who the players are, and they talk to TV news cameras, and the entire town goes to games. I'm not even sure if my high school had a football team. As a South African, what amazed me was the competitors call each other out in advertisements. I couldn't believe it at first, it seemed so unusual. Yes, this is so weird. I thought it was made illegal. I once saw the Sega Does What Nintendo thing, and I was like, what? Lol, I got this many upvotes by what, saying a catchy thing I saw once in an ad. That is a ridiculously good tagline. When I was in Tennessee as an exchange student for a year, I was surprised by the team spirit of each high school. Like how there was a football game every Friday night and almost all of the school was there to cheer them on. That would never happen in my country. Spectating as a high school kid was mainly a way to socialize, meet up, and find out where the parties were. At least when I was in high school, pre-cell phones, that's what we did. No one really watched the actual sport because it's rarely a quality game. It was a huge social event in my high school back in the 80s. Everyone sat together with their group of friends, and eventually someone would say party at Joe's place. 1 hour. And suddenly 20 kids would walk out of the stadium. The parking lot was the place to be too. Lots of booze and smoking. So much that by the time I was a senior, there was a security guard roaming the parking lot during the game. Advertising prescription drugs to regular people on TV. Obligatory rapid voiceover following mention of meds. Underscore. Prescription drugs may cause side effects such as headache, nausea, diarrhea, loss of balance, loss of sight, loss of hearing, loss of other senses, loss of common sense, heart palpitations, heart arrhythmia, heart attack, other Demi Lovato songs, rashes, acne, boils, simmers, chronic earwax, acute belly button lint, athlete's foot, tennis elbow, couch potato butt, depression, anxiety, Scientology, multiple sclerosis, single sclerosis, divorced sclerosis, it's complicated sclerosis, paralysis, hyperactivity, TikTokism, time travel, matrixism, Marxism, sudden clarity and awareness of your surroundings and situation, existential dread, suicide, and enlarged earlobes. Ask your doctor if prescription drugs are right for you. People in the commercial, dancing and doing fun activities. Then the following advertisement is a law ad saying that if someone you know has died from that drug, to call now for compensation. If you or a loved one have been affected by mesothelioma, you may be entitled to compensation. Hospitals buy ad space on billboards. I've never left the country, but we must be the only country that has hospitals advertising like Burger King. Yep. Here, NZ, you just go to your nearest hospital. I'm from the NL and honestly I have many questions for the US. Most burning on though is why are your toilet stall doors so damn high above the ground? I don't know, and I'm still not used to it. The worst is the size of the cracks between the door. The amount of times I've made eye contact with someone while sitting on the toilet is more than I'd like. At my work, not in the US BTW, because of how shiny the tiles are, you can look under the gap and make eye contact with the other person taking a dump next to you via the reflection. It's weird. Okay. I'm not sure where it started, but I believe that in the 1970s rampant homelessness and drug use hit the coasts. Also, many people used to have gay sex in bus stop bathrooms around the USA, to the point where it became a popular gay trope in men's culture. One of the best ways to combat people sleeping in bathroom stalls, as well as reduce sex in the bathroom and heroin use, was to continue to make people feel uncomfortable with the large gaps. Over time it just stuck. I'm amazed in Europe how they don't have a sex/homelessness problem. Because if they had those fully lockable toilets like that in the USA, people would be living in them, having sex, shooting up, or all kinds of other nefarious shit. When purchasing an item, the listed price is actually not the amount you'll have to pay at check. Link will be more. The best chicken joints in the hood usually have bulletproof glass. From Detroit. Can confirm. I think I will use this thread and ask something to you Americans. Are the movie stereotypes of cheerleaders and football players true? Do all schools have a football team with associated cheerleaders? And are the people who join them usually popular kids? I'm only right upstairs in Canada, but I've never even heard of a school that has cheerleaders. Also, what is a homecoming dance? Almost all high schools have football teams, and if there is a football team there is likely a cheerleading squad. Sports are expensive. Whether buying equipment, going to camps, or traveling to away games. So the kids aren't necessarily popular, but are usually not poor. Typically outgoing types join sports as well. Perhaps the sports even contribute to their outgoing personalities by giving them frequent socialization. The cheerleaders undergo extensive dance and gymnastics training in addition to competitions and games. So also expensive and lots of socialization. They are also both team sports, so they come with built-in social circles. I would also add that being an athlete implies a certain level of fitness. Fitness correlates to attractiveness, which maps to popularity in high school. Also, football teams are huge. At least 40 players, and could be up to 100. Being a member gives you a huge group of friends as a baseline for your popularity. Walmart, you can get a haircut. Buy a gun and ammo. With your groceries. You can get a haircut in a hypermarket. That actually sounds cool. Yup, my Walmart also has a bank and eyeglasses part. Nail salon too. While getting your car fixed. Nah. They just do tires and oil changes. They don't fix anything. French guy who lived in NC for a while here. To me, the weirdest thing was all the advertisement for prescription drugs on TV, radio, and online. It's crazy waking up in the morning and suddenly, while you're having your morning coffee and cereals, your TV starts spewing stuff about some random meds, like they're Tic Tacs you can just arbitrarily decide you need. The worst is honestly the mandatory side effect warning at the end of every ad. I nearly choked on my egg sandwich the first time that voice came up warning people about horrific stuff that could potentially happen if they took the drug. I have lived in quite a few countries around the world, and the US is the only place where I saw this. Edit. Wow. 11k upvotes for my first ever Reddit comment. Thank you y'all. It's about money. These drug companies want to get their name out there, so the old people who have the issue shown will ask for it by name and get them paid. One of my Canadian friend told me that back in 2003, when we, France, refused to take part in the war against Iraq, some Congress cafeterias and some restaurant in the USA renamed French fries and Freedom Fries. I think it's the most passive-aggressive and American thing you could have done. Plus, fries come from Belgium, not France. That was a small but vocal group. Most of us thought they were idiots. Someone on another thread explained that the French part was not actually referring to France. Apparently it comes from Frenched fries. Frenched meaning they have been cut in this particular way. People just got lazy and started saying French fries instead of Frenched. As a Belgian myself, I was kind of relieved. And X200B. Edit. Okay. So thanks to other people actually doing the research link. Apparently the term Frenched came after the fries. There's no evidence if French fries are actually French or Belgian, although they are part of the Belgian national dish, and the term came to the US after US soldiers tried them either in France or in southern, French-speaking Belgium during WWI. Mystery, partly, solved. Thanks kind stranger. Adverts for medication. You've got happy people and stuff in the ad and then it may cause death. Shooting a red sports car into space seemed like a pretty quintessentially American thing to do. Play the national anthem at almost every event. I went to an American elementary school for 6 months back in 1980. I can still recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm from Belgium. Ha. It worked. Warehouse type grocery stores, Costco. Super Saver. My great uncle from Australia would always take photos and my Korean, non-Seattle, friends thought this was crazy we'd have so much space for a grocery store. There is a place a short drive from my house that is a firearms/military merchandise store in the front half of the building, and in the back half, just down a short hallway, is a BBQ restaurant. It's a magical place. Still weirded out about refills and sizes of drinks specific to soda. The low bar to get a driver's license. Traveling between major cities, the distances are insane, especially just feeling completely alone in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes it's just indescribably marvelous to be driving alone in the middle of nowhere. If my car is in fairly good condition and I'm 75 miles from the nearest town, just pull over and stop to enjoy the solitude. Even at night if it's clear. To finally be able to see not just the stars, but the Milky Way too. Do you guys know what s'mores are? Edit. I get it. You've seen the Sandlet. You're killing me, Smalls. I know the concept, but I never tried it. It sounds nice. Wait. Are s'mores not a thing outside of the US? It's okay to walk around with a gun, but not a beer. And X200B. Edit. 40 of the 50 states do not require any license to carry a firearm openly. Not if you're in New Orleans. Health insurance. Premiums. Deductibles. Coinsurance. Copays. Out-of-pocket maximums. In-network. etc. It's an insane amount of knowledge that you need to have to make a good decision about your health coverage. And no one teaches you any of this shit. You have to go and learn it yourself on the internet. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Apparently. Edit. I'm American, but I recently learned that much of the world finds PB&J to be an odd combination. I'm Australian and I love them. I'm the only Australian person I've heard of eat them though. I remember eating one for the first time and thought, damn, why aren't these popular? The age-old question of, are those firecrackers or gunshots? Or a car backfiring? They're 5D Mayo celebrations. I have never met a Mexican who celebrates this holiday lol. It's celebrated in Mexico, but most of the celebration happens in Puebla, since the battle that's in Cody Mayo commemorates happened there. IDK if that's fitting here. But I simply don't get why the grading system is ABCDF. What happened to E? It's stupid, but F stands for failed, so it's ABCD failed. It's like it stops at D, although for my American schools D is failed also, so it's an extra stupid system. It's basically good, mostly good, average, terrible, and that's it. I remember explaining to an Italian friend that in the US we can vote and own a gun and fight in a war at 18, but can't buy a beer, and he was completely at a loss for words. Fraternities/sororities. Yeah, so we just join brother/sisterhoods when we go off to college with secret rituals and traditions.